fight you to the death in a second.
Hey going guys, this is Castleforge. A lot of people have been asking what my process is around cosplay photo shoots and locations, so I'm going to take you guys through an Elden Ring cosplay shoot that I did a couple months ago in Sydney and really go through the process from start to finish. So let's check it out. Okay, so the first thing we do is tee up the cosplayer. Daniela and Byron are excellent cosplayers and we had some free time. So we just discussed on what kind of cosplays we want to do. Elden Ring was the number one. Daniela had this amazing build for Rilana, the twin blade Moon the Knight. And Byron had Gold Mask. So it was going to be fun. The next step was to find a location. We wanted some ruins, something with stones. And a lot of the ruins in Australia don't look like castles, they look like farmhouses. So we wanted something with a bit of dark stone that could look like a castle ruin. In the end, we Googled around a bunch and we found the Stone Quarry Creek Railway Aqueduct. And this is actually a bridge that the railway line goes over still. And just had that aesthetic. The aqueduct had the curves really well. And from the pictures, it looked amazing. The next step for me was to Google the characters individually and make sure that I could understand the color schemes, the vibe, the feeling, and what kind of additions that would need to be added. So when I look at Rilana, I can see a lot of blues, I can see obviously a bit of magic going on for both blades, but the important part is the dark aesthetic that is Elden Ring with a bit of blues, and I really like these floating orbs just for a bit of magic feel as well, so we might be able to add them in later. As for Gold Mask, much more simple. This one in particular just has him T-posing, and yeah, he's very skinny, which Byron is not, but we just want the aesthetic. We don't need to have everything exactly accurate. So we're really dealing with Swole Mask here. But yeah, I love the oranges of the trees and the grass with the stone in the background. A very easy aesthetic to work with here because it's just grey and gold.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
And then shoot day arrives. So I just got back from China and I had a spare day in Sydney, so we drove down to Picton and checked out the aqueduct. It was a really hot day and there were bats everywhere. Really added to the vibe, but I couldn't get any of the bats in the photos. It was just, they don't play ball. So this was actually a really easy area to scout out because you just want the aqueduct in the background. So we just went down to the creek bed and started shooting. I lined Daniela up so that she was in the negative space between the archways, and yeah, we just started going about the angles. After the first round of shooting, we did some cosplay corrections, just kind of getting everything in line, and we also showed some reference material to Daniela so that she can get the pose just right and make some adjustments. This is why it's really important to show the back of the camera to your cosplayer. They can look at it and see things that you can't see. When photographers are looking compositionally, we're looking at shapes, movements and stuff, they're looking at the costume. They're looking at themselves and how they want to be seen. So you want their opinion on the photos. Even if they can't see the grand vision yet of knowing how you're going to edit it, in the moment, show your cosplayer. They've got really good tips on how to adjust things, and you can always just take multiple photos.
Oh my god, these are fucking awesome. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm getting emotional. I haven't gotten emotional with photos before. Fuck, these look so good. Byron, do you want to see?
I kind of want to see the end product.
Yeah,
Oh
that is fair, that is fair.
fair.
So I would focus on coverage. Once we got the poses right and the composition was looking good, I wanted to make sure I got a wide, medium and close shot. So for the wide shots, I had my 28mm lens on, and for the portrait shots, the close shots, I had my 85mm lens on. So I had to do a little bit of moving around to get the angles right, but having the two different lens options for a wide and a portrait shot makes a huge difference, as you'll see later. So after we got the coverage, we ended up risking the creek and trying to get some water reflection shots. It was much slower going because we had to be safer. If you fall into the water, the costume might get ruined and everybody gets muddy. Might look good for some photos, but you want your cosplayer safe and happy, not muddy and depressed. This is where cosplay helpers come in real handy. It's because Byron's just helping steady Daniela, checking rocks before she gets up there, and running back for my camera. And with Daniela done, we moved on to Byron.
This is all he does. I had to try and focus.
Given that we'd already had a bit of practice at this by now, Byron's shoot went much quicker. So we got him into the creek bed and posed in front of the aqueduct. We had him pointing, T-posing, all the fun stuff. It was actually a really hot day, so I was sweating a lot, and Daniela took the opportunity to get the armor off.
And then there's the badonk-a-donk.
After getting Byron in the creek, we called it a day, and I headed back to Adelaide.
Yeah, we'll get a photo together.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, so you got the photos home, you've got them on Lightroom. The editing process can be quite long and drawn out, and in this case it took a couple of hours. So here's some sped up versions of what I was able to record while I was editing. I decided to wash out Danny's skin in order to match up with the lore of Elden Ring. Relana is a Lucarian princess, and all of the Lucarian race seem to have a washed out glow to their skin. So I tried to match that, even though we never actually see the character's face because they're always wearing a helmet. So here they are, the raws versus the edits. You can see I've gone for the contrast of blue and orange in the background, but a little bit quite muted, while the blue of the cape and the armor has that slight tinge of blue as well, just to contrast against the background. And with Gold Mask, I've decided to eliminate the blue entirely and just go with gold. So we have a complete photo. I could deliver them and call it done, but let's go just 10% more. Just add a little bit of fire, a little bit of flair. So we're gonna go into Photoshop, and I am not a huge user of Photoshop. I know some skills, I'm not a master at it by any means. So let's just quickly go through the small stuff I would do to just add that little bit of flair. So there we have it, guys. This is the photoshopped version, just for added a little bit extra flair and light for some dynamic range. At this point, I would deliver both the Lightroom version and the Photoshop version and let them decide what they like, but I'm happy for that to happen because I like both. So it doesn't really bother me whether they prefer one or the other, but as long as it's fun doing, then I'm happy to do it. So that's it, guys. The only thing you've got left is deliver the photos and hope they like them.
Bro.
I'm so hard to get a reaction.
Holy fuck. I was literally just like, he's a fucking wizard. Thank you so much.
This is crazy.
I'm so like, holy shit.
Thanks for sticking around, guys. It means a lot. Please like and subscribe. Just let me know what you like in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you next time.